everyone. This is Alex Petsis from Anthony Petsis Associates. I'm here with my colleagues Heidi Hirsch and Tony Petsis. And we just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about something that's come up a lot this week, and that cybersecurity and how we look out for you. Heidi, could you talk a little bit about Facebook and some of the cybersecurity risks you can actually have on there?
So have you guys ever filled out those questions? Everybody gets them. They come across their Facebook feed that say, hey, what was your first job? Oh, well, mine was, I worked in a restaurant. And, everybody does that because they want to see what the answers are, what everybody has done. And what you don't realize is, number one, where are those questions coming from? Who's starting them? And if you recognize a lot of the times they're asking you what your personal security questions would be, right? Mm-hmm. We all need, when we set up a password, what was your first job? That would be one of the security questions you would answer. So what we're here to say is be careful when you think something is just very lighthearted, especially on social media. There unfortunately are scammers sometimes behind the scenes that are prompting these questions all to piece together what your security questions are.
Just this morning, I was watching one of the financial talk shows, and there were 3 commentators talking about what was your first job. And they were so specific. Oh, I worked at Citibank, or I worked at, Chipotle. And I'm thinking, you have no idea what you're doing, how much personal information like that can be used, as Heidi said, to your detriment. So you just got to be careful, especially anything that can be visible to more than your family or close friends.
So this is just a reminder to stay vigilant and just know that we have your backs when it comes to cybersecurity and cybersecurity risks for you and your family and your finances.
Yeah, I just also wanted to mention, just this week, we got an email from a client, and it said, hey, could you please send me $70,000, and here's my routing number, and here's my account number. Guess what? It wasn't the client, but someone had hacked into his email, assumed his identity, and so this is why we insist on calling you and getting a verbal confirmation that that's really you, which we did with this client.
And the other thing too is, if you find that you're calling in, and if unfortunately, we might not all recognize the same voices, we might ask you for, to confirm something, your address, your date of birth. That's why, because we are coming across these, unfortunately, in our business. I think every single one of us has gotten one of those emails before about sending money, but it is why that we don't take instructions over email. So just a reminder, like Tony said, is, hey, be careful, because something that seems so innocent, if you really, peel it away, you can realize like, oh, darn, I did answer these kind of questions. And the email hacking is a big one, because what I've seen is they go in, they search through your emails, they see who you've communicated with and how you communicate, and they are good. They will, again, give banking a voided check we got one time with the client's name on it that was not for the client.
It was bogus.
So, yeah, it was crazy.
They will actually insert themselves into an existing conversation that might be legitimate with a client. Now all of a sudden, the hacker comes in and assumes that client's identity. So now we're specifically trained here, everyone at the office, to identify those types of potential fraud. So just as a reminder, we thought we would just once again talk about how important it is to be vigilant. I guess we would be remiss if we didn't also mention that, as you probably know, Royal Alliance, our broker-dealer, is going through a name change. We're now Osaic, OASIAC, no changes at all, and you'll get more information on that as it continues. So thank you very much for your time.
There's your 5 minutes of finance. Happy planning.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.